Welcome to Mick Thomas's Bait Lab. We're getting ready to do some fire brine anchovies for some estuary salmon fishing today. We got the green label anchovies, Grays Harbor, great bait. They're usually in pretty good shape when you get them, not discolored. Real simple procedure here. It's only a 3-step process. So start with a bait. Open your package, of course, and get it going. Should have got the bigger scissors. So anyhow, this is not too difficult. It's very easy with the Pautzke's fire brine. You want to start with your ice cream rock salt. All it does is just give you a little extra toughness to anchovies. They're a little soft when you just put them in any kind of a brine. So the rock salt will give you a little extra toughness to your bait. Longer usage on your bait. You control it longer. It won't fall apart and be real soft. So what I do is dump my rock salt in the bottom of the tray. You can use as much as you want, but I just kind of lightly cover the bottom of the tray. And then the next step, I just throw my anchovies in there, no special way. And then our secret weapon, the chartreuse fire brine, Pautzke's fire brine. I just dump it in the tray with the rock salt and the bait. Let them soak. The key ingredient to me is the Pautzke's fire dye. It adds that vibrant color, brings out a little extra coloring in your baits after you use the brine. So we just open the little lid, a couple little squirts will do you. And believe it or not, I like to let my baits soak overnight. But you can use these things within just a few hours with the fire dye. The brine, you definitely want to let them set overnight by itself. But when you're using the fire dye, these things will color up instantly for you. So of course, you just close the lid, shake them up, and you're almost ready to go fishing. So we're ready for our next step here. We're going to do a fire brine blue, and actually the blue is a little more vibrant than the chartreuse by itself, but I still like to add the fire dye to my finished product just for the simple fact that it just makes the bait so much more vibrant. So here we go again. We're going to add a little rock salt to the tray. And this is the simplest way to cure baits that you'll ever do. It used to be a long, tedious process. You just throw your baits in the tray. Really easy, simple, nothing special. And then here you go. Pautzke's fire brine blue. This is my favorite. Dump it in over your baits, and it's just a vibrant, vibrant blue. Almost like natural fish in the environment. Really brings out the sheen in your bait. So, of course, again, we're going to use a little bit of the blue fire dye. This is really strong and potent. Your dye is the extra ingredient. You can see how vibrant that is sitting on top of your bait. So when you mix that up, those baits will turn as vibrant as you could ever ask for. And truthfully, the blue fire brine is my favorite, but I have days with the chartreuse that you can't keep them off. So you have to have a mix in your arsenal. We have some natural also that when they're biting the natural anchovies, you want natural bait. And there you go. We got them ready to go. They're tough, like shoe leather, and stay on your hook and catch you fish. So here we are back at the bait lab, and we got some finished product here. It's soaked overnight. And that's about the right time frame that you need to soak your baits. You can speed them up with the fire dye and, like I say, get a little more color to them quicker than just in the fire brine. So what we have here is 4 different colors that I put together. And again, these have soaked overnight, so you can see that the colors are very vibrant. And laid out here, we have four colors of my choice. We have the natural, we have the purple, blue, and the chartreuse fire brined anchovies. The natural, we have no fire dye whatsoever in it. The purple, we have purple fire dye, blue fire dye, and also the green fire dye. And the beauty of this soaking them overnight is the firmness and the toughness you get out of your bait. It will stay on your hook twice as long as just an anchovy out of the package from the store. And they just fish flawlessly. It's, you know, some guys are real picky about tails and scales. These fish just eat this stuff. I've been fishing a lot of years on these rivers on the west coast here, and I've found we've gotten bit. We'll come back with half an anchovy and I'll say, oh, just put it back in the water. And no more than it hits the bottom, we got a fish on. So I don't know that perfection is what you really need, but what you do need is a good solution to cure your baits in. Brine them, get the toughness you need, the durability out of your bait, and go catch fish. The fire brines have perfected this overnight process, and that's the bait of my choice. Okay, here we are. We're getting ready to show you how to rig a spinner bait with a fire brined anchovy. And I'm kind of old school. I just use a basic 3-bead plastic clevis for my little blade and my 1/0 hooks. So I'm old school, so I put the rubber band on so you can adjust to the length of your bait. So your top hook goes through the nose of your anchovy. I prefer to come up underneath right through the center of the head and just curl it forward. My back hook, my trailer, I like to put in the top of the tail section above the vertebrae. Put the hook down the side of the fish, and then you gradually slide your line forward and put your bin to your fire brined anchovy. For our final process of this bait, what you want to do is I use a rubber band on the gills so the gill plate doesn't open up on my bait while I'm trolling. I put a nice bend to my anchovy so it spins in the water like a crippled bait. And there you have your finished bait. It's got a nice bend to it so it spins. You got your attractor blade, and this is the end results that catches fish.